Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Brian. I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with me, give an update as to what my plans are going forward, and talk about just kind of the direction of where I'm going with Colorado Backcountry Adventures, because I'm at a little bit of a crossroads right now. My lower back is at a point to where I don't know if I'll be able to continue with trail work too much longer. I think I'm going to have to stop all the landscaping jobs that I do, because that's what I do for work on the side to make money. And then that money allows me to travel full time and make the videos, which I share with you all here on YouTube, and also the podcast, and then also the documentary that I'm filming. But I ruptured a disc in my back 4 years ago, the L5, and it's just progressively gotten worse, like just the nagging pain. And this past week, it's been pretty much to the point to where I haven't been able to sleep hardly at all at night. Last night I got about 3 hours of sleep, which I was really happy about. That's the most I've gotten all week. And so I'm thinking that what I need to do is stop doing all the landscaping. And with the trail work that I have, I can organize volunteers to do the heavy lifting while I just do the patrols. So that wouldn't be an issue with that. But I think eventually I'll have to get out of trail work too, just because you can't do it forever. And I don't know if I'd want to do it forever, just given the amount of trash that I pick up on a regular basis on all the trails that I've adopted. Now, with that being said, I am going to do trails next year. I've already got my adoption agreement in place with the Forest Service. So I've got those trails, and as soon as they get signed off on by the regional director and the forest ranger, then I'll go ahead and tell you guys what those trails are. They're really awesome too, so I'd really highly recommend you come out and check them out. But as a result of this change in direction, I think that what I want to do now going forward, once I phase out of all the landscaping stuff and get done with those things, what I want to do going forward is I just want to create content full time, but I want to step up the game a little bit. I want to make it to where the content is much better than what you've been seeing so far. And I want to do full-on video series, for example, this winter. I want to do a complete video series of videos of what it's like to winter camp, and do, if I can, try to do a video every single day for like a month, and just give you guys a snapshot into what that life is like and what that experience is like. And then I'd also like to travel around a little bit more and meet some other people in different areas of the country and interview them for the podcast, along with my buddy Barron, who we're doing the podcast together with, and also my friend Craig Coleman. And then the movie's coming out, and we have to reshoot a few things with that. There are some situations that came up of circumstances that changed with some companies that I was affiliated with, and so we're reshooting that right now, but should probably be done with that, I would say, within a month's time, and then we'll have the video edited and out. But what I would like to do is focus on that just full time, and not try to balance this back and forth with, odd jobs to help pay for creating this content and living this lifestyle. And so I have decided to go ahead and embrace Patreon as the main fundraising endeavor for this content. Now with that, I'm not just asking for money. I'm not an e-beggar. I want to give you guys an opportunity to participate. And so if you check out my Patreon page, I've got a bunch of different levels, and each of those levels has different perks of what you can gain access to. What I would really like is for people to help me out, for those that want to participate, help me out with ideas for like the podcast, for new YouTube videos, because I've been in this lifestyle now for almost 3.5 years of living nomadic. And there are some things that I kind of just assume are known by the public because I've been living this way for so long. But when I stop and think about the way that I live and the questions that people have, a lot of the questions are more on the basic level and not real intricate as to what I do. And so I think it'd be really beneficial to have the input of you all to say, hey, Brian, here's what we want to see coming up, and go from there. Now, there's other levels too where you can have a first screening of the documentary when it comes out before it's released. There's a podcast levels, so if you want to have access to one specific podcast per week that's only for the podcast supporters, then that's available as well. But what I'm asking for is just a base level of $2 a month that will basically, if I kick out an average of one video a week just on a normal basis, and I'm not doing like a special series, that's 50 cents a video. And I think that with that price, it being that low, I feel like people that want to contribute and want to be a part of the creative process would think that that's a good value. So if you wouldn't mind going over and checking out my Patreon page, if you want to go ahead and be a patron and sign up for one of the tiers. I'd be honored to have you on our team. And what I'm looking to do is build a community of people through the Patreon that not only do they help me with ideas of creation for new content, but also to where we can organize meetups. If folks are in Colorado, we can all get together and go camping or go to a brewery or something like that, and just kind of build that common good amongst people who enjoy this sort of content. So, but the content will always remain free on YouTube and also the podcast, which is available on iTunes and Google Play Music and Outcast and all the different podcast platforms. We're not on Spotify yet, but I'm working on that, so we'll get on there shortly. But what I want to do is be able to step up my game, and I feel like this is the best way to do it without having any sort of sponsor influence, because I am now being approached by a couple different companies that are talking about money, and I feel like if I went that route, I would almost be kind of handcuffed, and my creative outlet would be narrower, or I guess the funnel would be narrow, because I'd have to adhere towards certain guidelines for those companies. And I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to make sure that these videos and the content that you get through the videos or through the podcast or whatever, that it's 100% uninfluenced. It's just authentic. And so that's my goal going forward. And the way I look at it is, if I get as little as like 5% of folks to come forward and say, hey, we'd like to just donate $2 a month to this endeavor and be a part of the creative process. If people did that just at the base level, I would have my budget taken care of to be able to do this full time. So if you feel inclined to support, I would love to have you on the team. If not, that's great too. Just please keep watching, and if you have any comments, hit me up in the comment section below. But like I said, this is the way I feel like I could raise the money to be fully 100% authentic and not influenced by corporate sponsors, because I'm at that crossroads right now. Do I go the sponsor route, or do I do my own funding? And I'm very much thinking that my own funding is the way that I want to go. So what I'm asking is for you to be a part of that. Please check out the Patreon link, which is in the video description below. And if you have any questions, feel free to either put them in the comments below, or if you have any comments, put those in the comments below, or you can email me. And my email is brian@coloradobackcountryadventures.com. So thanks a lot for watching so far, and just be prepared. I'm going to up my game quite a bit, get some new equipment here to help out with the content that I create, and I think the next year you're going to be blown away. So thanks, and I hope to see you on the Patreon page.